Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We are back with another stack of research articles and insights. But today feels a little different.
A little more hands-on, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Usually we're taking a big idea like the history of coffee or the science of sleep, and we're looking at it from, 30,000 feet. We're analyzing it. But today we are going to the gym.
But not for your biceps, and definitely not for your quads.
No, thankfully. I skipped leg day. Today we are going to the gym for your mouth.
It's a vivid image, isn't it?
It is.
But it's probably the most accurate way to describe the material we have in front of us today.
We do. We've got this fascinating stack of materials, all centered around a program called the Ultimate Daily English Fluency Workout.
Right.
It's a collection of scripts, training regimens, and lists from a couple of sources, the Daily English Masterclass and the 120 Essential Sentences series.
And I think we need to say this right up front.
Go for it.
Before you think, oh, I already speak English, or I don't need a vocabulary lesson, just hold on. Because this is not about memorizing flashcards.
No, not at all. It's so much deeper than that.
If you look at the core philosophy in these sources, it's actually kind of radical.
How so?
It treats language learning not as an academic subject, like history or math, but as a physical sport. The whole focus here is on muscle memory.
Which I love. The idea that your tongue is a muscle that you need to take to the gym.
That's it, exactly.
The source material is really clear about this. It states that the goal here is to take a learner from an A1 level, which is a beginner, basically just pointing at things.
Right, coffee, taxi.
Yeah, and get them all the way to a B1 level, which is intermediate. And that bridge is usually the hardest part for people.
Oh, it is. It's the valley of death for language learners.
A valley of death. I like that.
You know a bunch of words, right? You even know the grammar rules in theory.
Yeah.
But then you open your mouth to speak and you freeze. And this regimen, it argues that the freeze happens because you're thinking, not moving. You haven't done the physical reps.
You haven't built the bridge between your brain and your mouth.
Precisely.
So our mission today is to unpack this specific training regimen. We aren't just going to read a list of sentences because, that would be incredibly boring.
Yeah, no one wants that.
We are going to analyze why these specific sentences were chosen. Because when you strip a language down to its absolute essentials, the 120 sentences you actually need to survive, you start to see a really interesting picture of modern human existence.
It's a window into how we live. It covers everything from the anxiety of the morning alarm all the way to the stress of a Zoom call.
Exactly. So let's start with the how. The technique. The source material hits us right away with this concept of shadowing. Now, when I hear shadowing, I think of like a detective in a noir film.
Following someone down a rainy alley.
Right.
It's a little less dramatic than that. Maybe just as intense.
Okay, so what is it in this context?
So in the context of this daily English masterclass, shadowing is defined very, very strictly. And this is where most people get it wrong.
Okay.
It is not reading aloud.
Wait, unpack that for me. If I'm reading a text out loud, aren't I practicing speaking?
You are practicing speaking, yes, but you're connecting your eyes to your mouth. You're bypassing your ears. The source says that to really build fluency, you have to connect the ears to the mouth.
Ears to mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shadowing means you listen to a sentence and you repeat it immediately after hearing it. Like you're practically talking on top of the speaker.
So it's like an echo.
An instantaneous echo. You aren't waiting for the sentence to finish and then thinking about it and then constructing your reply.
You're just mimicking.
You are mimicking the sound waves as they hit you. And the source explicitly states the goal is to mimic 3 specific things.
All right, what are they?
Speed, pauses, and emotion.
Okay, that emotion part is the one that really stuck out to me.
Me too.
Speed and pauses, I get. That's rhythm. That makes sense. But why emotion? Why do I need to, feel feelings to learn grammar?
Because emotion is the glue that holds the grammar together.
The glue.
Think about how most language apps sound. The cat is the cat on the table. It's totally robotic.
It sounds like a hostage video.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when you speak like that, your brain treats every single word as a separate island. Cat is an island. Table is an island.
Right.
But when you mimic the emotion, the cat is on the table, your brain encodes that as a single chunk of meaning, a single unit. And the source material makes a really bold promise here.
Which is?
It claims that this technique is the cure for stuttering and the key to speaking naturally.
Wow.
Because it bypasses the analytical part of your brain.
So it stops you from translating in your head.
Precisely. It creates a direct highway from idea to sound, and it just completely skips the grammar check station.
That's the muscle memory part again. Just like a pianist practicing scales. They don't think, okay, middle finger goes to C sharp.
They just do it. Their fingers know.
And that's what we were trying to do with these 120 sentences.
That's the goal.
So we have the workout method. Now let's look at the weights we're lifting. The regimen is broken down into 120 essential sentences across 4 main pillars of life.
Right.
We've got the morning routine, the modern workplace, shopping and money, and socializing.
It's basically a roadmap of a standard 24-hour day in the modern world.
It really is. So let's dive into section 1, the morning routine. The sources call this the foundation.
And that makes a lot of sense linguistically.
Why?
If we look at the grammar here, this whole section is almost exclusively in the present simple tense. And it's really heavy on frequency adverbs.
You mean words like usually, always, never?
Exactly.
Which makes sense. This is the bedrock of who you are, what you do every day.
It establishes identity through action. In English and in many languages, you aren't just what you think, you are what you do repeatedly. That's a good point.
So that's why this tense is the first thing A1 and B1 learners need to master. If you can't describe your daily reality, you can't really connect with anyone.
Okay, so let's look at the first sentence in the workout. It's, I usually wake up at 7 a.m., but I stay in bed for 10 minutes.
I absolutely love this sentence.
It's so real. It's not, I wake up and I jump out of bed to seize the day.
No.
It's, I stay in bed.
It immediately teaches the language of procrastination. But look at the structure there. Usually, but.
The contrast.
It teaches contrast. It teaches that humans are imperfect. We have our intentions waking up at 7, and then we have our reality staying in bed. That little word but is doing so much heavy lifting there.
It really is.
Okay.
Then we hit this phrase, which I think everyone everywhere uses. The first thing I do is check the notifications on my phone.
That phrase, the first thing I do, that is pure gold for learners.
Why is it so valuable?
We call that a sentence frame or a lexical chunk.
Yeah.
Once you master that chunk, you can attach anything you want to it.
I see. The first thing I do is drink water. The first thing I do is scream into my pillow.
It's a Lego brick.
Exactly. It's a modular piece of language that you can just plug other things into.
And culturally, I mean, the source material is really trying to capture the modern condition here. Checking notifications first thing.
It's a universal habit now, isn't it?
It's depressing, but it's accurate.
Yeah.
You know, it's not teaching us 1950s English where the first thing you do is check the weather vane.
No.
But, yeah.
It's teaching 2020s English. And that relatability, that helps with memory. You remember things that feel true.
Sure, that makes sense. Speaking of habits, the list then takes a little bit of a turn into the health and wellness space we have. I try to meditate for 5 minutes to clear my mind, and this one, I take a cold shower to feel more energized.
Now, that is specific.
Cold shower. It adds this whole narrative flavor. It's not just, I shower.
No, it implies a certain type of person.
A person I am definitely not, by the way.
Me neither. But it implies someone who is actively trying to optimize their state. But linguistically, look at the cause and effect structure. I do X to feel Y.
I take a cold shower to feel more energized.
Yeah. That use of the infinitive to feel is actually a pretty complex thought for a beginner.
How so?
Well, you're explaining your purpose. By just shadowing it, you internalize that logic structure without having to sit down and study a grammar chart about infinitives of purpose.
You just learn that the action leads to the feeling.
Exactly. It's intuitive.
Then we get the battle with the alarm clock. My alarm clock goes off twice before I actually get up.
And this brings us to the nemesis of every single English learner.
Which is?
The phrasal verb.
Goes off.
It makes no sense, logically.
It really doesn't. To go implies leaving. Off implies stopping. So go off should mean leave and stop.
Right. Yeah.
But an alarm going off means it starts ringing.
Exactly. And think about a bomb. If a bomb goes off, it explodes. But if an event goes off well, it means it was successful.
That's so confusing.
They're context-dependent and they're totally illogical. Shadowing this sentence, my alarm clock goes off, helps lock in that one specific meaning. You stop trying to analyze the logic and you just accept the usage.
You just absorb it. So we move from the bedroom to the commute. This is where the logistics come in. I take the bus to work every single day versus I prefer to walk if the weather is nice.
There are two great things happening here. First, every single day.
Right. Not just every day.
Well, that's an intensifier.
Yeah.
Adding single adds weight. It can imply dedication, or it can imply, drudgery. I do this every single day.
It feels like a grind when you say it that way.
It can, yeah. And then the second sentence introduces the conditional if the weather is nice. That introduces a variable. Life isn't always the same. Sometimes it depends on the weather.
So it's preparing the learner for more complex sentences.
Absolutely.
And then this one, which I have to say speaks to my soul and my anxiety. I never leave the house without checking if the lights are off.
The never without construction. That is a high-level structure for emphasis. It emphasizes the absolute necessity of the action. It's much, much stronger than just saying, I always check the lights.
It's like a double negative, but it makes a positive.
It creates a rule, a personal law you live by.
And finally, for the morning block, I always listen to a podcast during my commute.
Very meta.
Very meta. But it shows how media consumption is now a core part of the routine.
For sure.
So, okay, you've survived the morning. You're caffeinated, you're cold showered, you've checked the lights 12 times. Now you arrive at the office.
And this is where the tone shifts completely.
Right. We're entering section 2, the modern workplace.
And the stakes are higher here.
In what way?
In the morning routine, you're basically talking to yourself, maybe describing your habits to a friend.
Sure.
In the workplace section, the vocabulary shifts from words like wash and eat to schedule, deadline, and reschedule. But I think more importantly, the social dynamic changes.
The politeness markers go way, way up.
They have to. One of the key sentences in this section is, could you please send me the report by the end of the day?
It's not, send me the report.
No, never. A direct command like that is often perceived as really rude in English-speaking workplaces, unless you're, in a life or death situation.
Right.
Could you please softens the command? It turns an order into a request. It's a linguistic lubricant that keeps the office running smoothly.
Linguistic lubricant. I like that. And again, the source material is painfully modern. We have, let's hop on a quick Zoom call.
Hop on.
It sounds so friendly, like a bunny rabbit. Let's hop.
It's a very specific and I'd say deceptive verb.
Deceptive.
Hop on minimizes the request. It suggests the call will be easy, quick, painless. If you said, let us initiate a video conference, it sounds so heavy.
It sounds like you're about to get fired.
Right. Hop on a Zoom sounds casual. It's part of that corporate casualness that, masks the actual work involved.
It's a trap, but a very polite trap.
A polite trap.
And then the sentences that have defined our lives since 2020. I think you are on mute, and the internet connection is a bit unstable.
These are survival phrases now.
They really are.
If you are learning English today, you absolutely need to know how to troubleshoot a video call. You are on mute is probably the most spoken sentence of the last 5 years.
It's got to be up there with, can you see my screen?
For sure. But notice the other one. The internet connection is a bit unstable. That is a crucial phrase for a non-native speaker to have.
Why is that so crucial?
Because when the audio cuts out or things get choppy, a learner often blames themselves.
Oh, that's interesting.
They think, oh no, I don't understand English. Having the phrase, the connection is unstable, gives them the confidence to blame the technology.
So it externalizes the problem.
Exactly. It says, the problem isn't my brain, the problem is the Wi-Fi. And that saves so much confidence.
That's a really, really good point. It separates language failure from tech failure. Okay, now let's talk about stress. The workout includes, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed with this deadline.
I really appreciate the emotional honesty in a learning script.
Me too.
Usually business English books teach you to say, I am ready for the challenge. This script teaches you how to say, I am drowning.
And it's so much more useful.
So much more real.
And this one, I need to catch up on some unanswered emails.
Catch up on another one of those high-value phrasal verbs.
What does it imply?
It implies you're behind. It implies a deficit. It perfectly captures that modern feeling of always, always chasing the inbox.
And then what you call the ultimate professional stall tactic.
Ah, yes.
I will get back to you as soon as I have an answer.
The ultimate shield.
It's so good.
It buys you time. It sounds proactive. I will get back to you. But it actually commits you to absolutely nothing in the immediate moment.
Right.
It's a crucial phrase for maintaining professional poise when you actually have no idea what's going on.
It's the get-out-of-jail-free card of meetings.
It is, 100%.
And then you have the scheduling dance. Let's reschedule our meeting and I'll be out of the office for an hour. It's all about managing time and space.
It's the choreography of the office, really.
So we've done the morning, we've survived the Zoom calls. Now the source material does something interesting. It takes a little pause.
Yeah.
We are entering section 3, the mid-lesson check-in.
This is interesting because the Daily English Masterclass source, it actually breaks the fourth wall here.
What do you mean?
It stops giving you sentences to practice.
Yeah.
And it starts talking about how you should be doing this whole thing.
It talks about the pause, right?
Right. The structure of the audio files in the program is sentence, pause for 2 to 3 seconds, next sentence. The source says the real work, the learning, happens in that pause.
Why is that? Why not just listen to a continuous stream?
Because that's where your brain has to retrieve the sentence and then reproduce it. If you wait too long, the echo of the sentence fades from your short-term memory. But if you try to do it too fast, you just interrupt the input. That 2 to 3 second window is the sweet spot for immediate mimicry.
You are surfing on the speaker's wave.
That's a great way to put it.
And the tip they give here is, if a sentence feels too fast, don't worry about being perfect.
That's the rhythm over perfection philosophy.
Focus on the rhythm and the melody.
This is critical. It's so important because English is what we call a stress-timed language.
Okay, let's unpack that. What does stress-timed actually mean?
It means the rhythm of the language is determined by the stressed syllables, not the total number of syllables. It's like jazz, da-da-da-da-da.
Okay.
In some other languages, like Spanish or French, every syllable takes up roughly the same amount of time. It's more like a machine gun. Da-da-da-da-da.
And English isn't like that.
Not at all. English is rubbery. We squash the unimportant words and we stretch the important ones.
So if I say I went to the store, the to the gets squashed.
Exactly. You hear, I went to the store. The melody is up, down, up.
Right.
For a B1 learner, getting that melody right often makes you easier to understand than getting every single vowel perfect.
Really?
Yeah. If you have the right beat, the native speaker's brain kind of fills in the gaps for you.
So it's better to mumble with the right rhythm than to speak clearly like a robot.
In many, many cases, yes.
Yeah.
Because the robot rhythm confuses the listener's brain. It doesn't know which words are important. It has to work harder.
That's fascinating. So we are keeping the beat, we are jamming, and now we are heading to the store. Section 4, shopping and money.
Transactional English. This is where accuracy really starts to count because, money is involved.
Yeah, the stakes are real. The first one that caught my eye. How much does this cost, including tax?
Now, that is a culturally loaded sentence.
It really is, right?
Yeah.
In many countries, the price on the sticker is the price you pay. End of story.
But in the U.S. and parts of Canada, tax is added at the register. So a learner might get to the counter with a $10 bill for a $9.99 item.
And realize they are short.
Yeah. Ask including tax shows a really sophisticated understanding of that local economic quirk. It's a pro move.
For sure. And the classic, do you accept credit cards or only cash?
Essential travel phrases. But I like the navigation phrases too, like, I am just looking around, thank you.
The polite shield.
It is.
Yeah.
It's how you dismiss a salesperson without being rude. It signals, I am not a buyer yet, please leave me alone.
It's the universal back-off signal.
But, polite.
And then, where can I find the dairy section? And do you have this in a different color? These are the hunt-and-gather phrases of the modern world.
They are. And then, of course, you get the problems. The source includes, I'd like to return this item. It's the wrong size.
Confrontation.
Well, mild confrontation. But for a learner, returning something can be terrifying.
Oh, absolutely.
You have to admit a mistake or a problem. You have to talk to customer service. Having a script for that, I'd like to return this. It just lowers the anxiety barrier so much.
It gives you the words when you're stressed.
Exactly.
And I love this one. This is a bit over my budget for today.
That is such a graceful way to say, I can't afford this, or that's too expensive.
It really is. It's so much classier.
Saying that's too expensive can sound like you're criticizing the store's pricing.
Right.
But saying this is over my budget puts the constraint on you and your plan for the day. It saves face for everyone involved.
It's very elegant. And of course, we have to include the modern shopper. I prefer shopping online because it's more convenient.
Even in a script about how to speak to people, we have to admit that we'd rather not speak to anyone and just click buttons.
We contain multitudes. It's complicated. Okay, so finally, we reach the end of the day. Section 5, socializing and evenings.
And we're switching registers again.
Yes.
We're done with the boss. We're done with the sales clerk. Now we're with friends or family. So the tone becomes much more about casual conversations and winding down.
The universal opener. What are your plans for the weekend?
The Monday, Friday small talk starter. If you can't ask this or answer this, you can't make friends in an English-speaking office. It is the absolute glue of social interaction.
That's so true. And then, would you like to come over for dinner tonight?
Come over. That phrasal verb again,
What's special about that one?
it implies entering someone's personal space, their home. It's a sign of friendship and intimacy. You don't usually ask your boss to come over. You ask a friend.
Right, you'd say, would you like to have dinner, not come over.
Exactly. The verb choice signals the relationship.
The text also circles back to the work stress we talked about earlier. I'm exhausted. It's been a long day at work.
I like that connection. It closes the loop on the day.
Yeah.
It acknowledges the fatigue from the workplace section. And then we see the relaxation habits. I love watching Netflix to relax.
Versus, I try to read at least 10 pages of a book every night.
The aspiration versus the reality again.
It's Netflix versus the book, the eternal struggle.
Always. But notice it's I try to read. That try to structure, it implies effort and discipline.
Whereas watching Netflix just sort of happens.
It's passive. Reading is active.
And then the day ends. I need to set my alarm for tomorrow morning.
And the cycle repeats.
Sweet dreams. See you tomorrow.
It's a gentle landing after a long day.
So we have the 120 sentences. We have the roadmap of the day. But the source material has one more section that I think is the secret sauce of this whole fluency workout.
I know which one you mean.
Section 6, the pronunciation deep dive.
Yes. This is where we get into the nitty-gritty mechanics of connected speech.
The source explicitly warns that words, in English, they blend together.
They really do. And this is the single biggest hurdle for listening comprehension. The learner expects to hear, I am going to go, like perfect little pearls on a string.
But what they actually hear is, I'm gonna go.
Exactly. And it's gibberish to them.
The source gives some specific examples. I am going to becomes I'm gonna. Want to becomes wanna.
And it's so important to note here, this isn't lazy English. It isn't slang.
Right.
This is natural, fluent, standard B1 and above English. If you enunciate every single syllable, I'm going to go to the store, you actually sound unnatural. You sound stiff.
So using gonna and wanna in conversation is actually a sign of higher proficiency.
Absolutely. It shows that you understand the natural flow of the language. It's all about efficiency. The mouth wants to take the shortest possible path between sounds.
The source also highlights the American T.
Ah, the flap T. The source mentions words like water and better.
In my head, if I'm just reading it, it's water, a hard T sound.
Right. But in most American English, and often in Canadian English, that T sound, when it's between two vowels, becomes a soft D sound.
So it becomes water, better.
Exactly. Water, better.
Drink a large glass of water.
Water, yeah. If you go back to that sentence in the morning routine section, I drink a large glass of water, and you apply this one rule, suddenly you sound 50% more American.
It's wild how one little sound change can shift the whole accent so much.
That's the power of connected speech. It's not about changing your personality. It's about smoothing out the edges so the listener's ear just glides over your words. It makes you more aerodynamic.
Aerodynamic. I love it. So, okay, we've broken down the workout. We've looked at the exercises. Now, what's the regimen? The outro of our source material gives us a very specific call to action.
The 30-day challenge.
Repeat this podcast every day for 30 days.
And why 30 days?
Well, the source claims this is how muscle memory will improve and confidence will skyrocket.
And it aligns with what we know about habit formation, doesn't it?
It does.
You can't go to the gym once and expect to get strong. You can't shadow these sentences one time and expect to get fluent. It's the boring, repetitive work of showing up every single day that actually builds the neural pathways.
Consistency is the key to fluency.
That's the tagline. And it's the absolute truth.
But here's what I'm thinking, and this is where it gets really interesting for you listening at home. We covered a lot of ground morning, work, shopping, socializing, but these are generic, essential sentences.
They are the universals, yeah. The things most people will need.
Right. But everyone's life is a little bit different.
That's true. A lawyer's day is different from a doctor's day, is different from a stay-at-home parent's day.
So if you're listening to this and you want to build your own fluency workout.
You need to find your essential sentences.
Exactly. The source gives us 120 really solid basics. But maybe your essential sentence isn't, I take the bus to work. Maybe it's, I have to walk the dog, or I need to feed the baby, or my code is compiling.
That's a great provocation, to take this shadowing technique and apply it not just to this generic list, but to this specific, unique scripts of your own life.
Yeah.
What are the 10 sentences you find yourself saying every single day? Master those, and you master your identity in English.
I love that. Customize the workout.
Precisely. Make it yours. That's where the real fluency begins.
Well, there you have it. The gym for your mouth, the 30-day challenge. It's simpler than you think, but you have to do the reps.
You have to do the reps.
Thanks for diving in with us. Keep speaking.
See you next time.